Hi, welcome to another chapter. Today we'll be looking at quality management. Quality management, you might be wondering how quality management is related to proposal development. Obviously, we are manufacturing a proposal, which is a brilliant product in itself. So let's see how we can apply this manufacturing process inside of a proposal. So what's the quality management? Quality management is a combination of what we call quality assurance and quality control, building the metrics, having the process in place, continuously improving your metrics, keep on measuring the metrics, and see how you can take it to fulfill the needs of your customer. It's a systematic way of fulfilling your customer's requirement. So let's look at some of the best practices of quality management. So what is a quality assurance? As we already touched, quality assurance is a systematic way of fulfilling your customer's requirement, but that comes with few steps. Number one, you measure the project, you measure the success. How are you going to measure? You need to have certain criteria which we'll touch. Once you measure, then you compare. Once you compare, you then monitor. Once you monitor, you then see how you can reduce your error. And once you reduce the error, find ways to improve. Pretty much a sustainable process of implementation, so it's never going to be a one-off exercise. So some of the best practices include follow the 4 components of a quality management framework. What are the 4 components? We already touched some, but let's have a look. Number 1, it's quality planning. Before you do plan, what are the key metrics, and identify the key metrics that's relevant to your organization, that's relevant to your proposals. There are so many metrics. Business Development Institute consistently publish the standard metrics. Please do browse through what metrics are, but look at your organization and set up and identify those metrics. Once you identify those metrics, then we move to the next step, which is quality assurance. In quality assurance, we set up the process around compiling these metrics and measuring these metrics. Now you have got a process and procedures. Quality control, it's nothing but collecting it through specific templates, collecting that through specific mechanisms beyond your standard process and procedures, so that you have starting to build a continuous momentum around it. That leads to the final point, which is continuous quality improvement. Continuous quality improvement. So that's it. Quality planning, quality assurance, quality control, continuous quality improvement. 4 key frameworks. So once you capture those things, then you will be going back to your step 1, which is before you start, you need to set up a baseline. A baseline comes with benchmarking. If you don't have the details, go and find the best practices in the market like BD Institute and see what are the benchmarking tools that are available, so that you could start to benchmark into the top 5 key metrics that most organizations use, or organization in your geography, or organization in your sector, or organization by the type large, small, and medium-sized enterprises use. Start to use them. So that's step 1. Establish a baseline scenario. Win rate, opportunity ratio are some of the key matrices. Go and look what metrics are available to you, as I mentioned. So find your baseline. Once you find a baseline, then you define your quality standards and measures. Okay, what does it mean to me? How much should my win rate be? How much should my opportunity ratio to be? And once you have the metric, also set up your standard. Then you move your journey towards the standard. So you are going to follow a recommended procedure called PDCA. PDCA. What's PDCA? You plan, you do, you check, and then you act. Plan, do, check, and act. There are key bullet points that are there, which you can download from the guide. I'm not going to reiterate, but follow the PDCA framework of improving your quality. Once you have done that, then you move into the roles that different players can play in your proposal. Remember, yes, the responsibility sits squarely with the big stroke proposal manager, but you also have much more roles, because not all the responsibilities or tasks sits with the proposal manager. You have a capture manager who manages intelligence. then you have your graphics person, you have the pricing person. See the responsibilities for all these people and see how they contribute to the success of the quality in your bid. Set some criteria for them so that they could work towards too. So now your responsibility is also mapped. Finally, you then start to communicate the standards to the team. How often are you going to measure it, in what format? So those are the key best practices. So what are some of the key principles? As I mentioned, organize your quality standards around the size of your company. Don't overwhelm just because bigger companies have 10, 20, 30 odd metrics. Pick up the right metrics that suits your needs. Then if you don't know what metrics are right for you, borrow from the best practices and start with 3 or 5 metrics. Start to manage it, continue the journey and see how you're improving it. To the end of the day, you cannot be 100% error free, but it's all about improvement. It's all about journeys. And once you have done that, finally find ways how you can make it as a repeatable practice. So let me reiterate in summary. Identify the 4 key process framework. Number 1, your quality planning, quality assurance, quality control, then quality improvement. Okay, once you have that, set up a baseline. Once you set up the baseline, then define the roles for your employees. Once you define the roles, communicate with the employees, then how to make it repeatable so that you always improve. That's quality management. How can you apply that in your organization?